So, picture this. Stars exploded a very, very long time ago, and they made this incredibly special, shiny rock that just fell down to our young Earth. We call it copper. And for ages, this copper just hung out there. It slept inside the cold ground, waiting silently under all the dirt and the water. Eventually, early humans walked the Earth, and they were looking all over the place for stones to make tools. But most regular rocks just shattered. You'd hit them, and they'd break into sharp, totally useless pieces. Then, someone found a shiny orange stone just sitting in the dirt. It looked completely different from those boring gray rocks everywhere else. They hit it with a heavy rock, and a massive surprise happened. The orange rock didn't break into pieces at all. It just flattened out. People realized this was a magical kind of rock. You could hit it over and over again, and it would just peacefully change its shape. So they started hammering the copper, shaping it into things they actually needed. They made these beautiful flat blades and shiny round beads. It was our very earliest metal, but those early tools had a pretty big problem. The metal was just way too soft. A copper knife would literally bend on a hard bone. People needed something stronger. The shiny orange rock was gorgeous, sure, but weak. It just couldn't handle the hardest work. Then, a bright fire changed absolutely everything. Someone dropped copper into a really hot flame, and the solid rock literally melted right into orange water. This was absolutely huge. People learned they could pour this melted copper to fill shapes they had carved directly into the sand. And when the liquid cooled down, it became hard again. Humans could now make literally any shape they wanted. They were actually shaping the earth itself. They poured melted copper into axe shapes to make much better hunting tools. But the metal was still just a bit too soft. The real magic happened by total accident. People melted copper next to another rock called tin. The liquids mixed together in the dancing fire, and the mixture cooled down into an entirely new metal. We call this new metal bronze. Bronze was incredibly harder than plain copper, and it completely changed the whole world. People built huge cities with strong bronze tools. We literally call this time the Bronze Age. Copper was the secret hero there, the main ingredient in this new supermetal that helped humans conquer the wild. Time passed. People found harder metals like iron, so copper actually stopped being the main metal for tools. But people still absolutely loved it for other things. They made pots and pans out of it because copper gets hot very fast over a fire. They also used it to build roofs. Old copper turns this beautiful, vibrant green color in the rain, and that green skin actually protects the metal underneath. For a long time, copper was just useful, it was pretty, and good for cooking. Its biggest secret was still hiding. Then, a totally new force woke up. Humans learned how to make electricity. This invisible magic could light up the dark. But electricity is extremely wild. It desperately needs a safe path to travel. If it has no path, it just disappears right into nothing. Scientists tested so many different things. They tried sending electricity through iron. They tried sending it through wood. It just didn't work. Then they tried our old friend copper, and the electricity zipped through the copper instantly. It moved like water through a smooth pipe. Copper is a perfect road for electricity. It doesn't fight the power, it just lets the energy run free and fast. Suddenly, the entire world wanted copper again. We needed it to move this incredible, invisible power. So we started digging deep into the earth. People stretched the copper out. They pulled the metal into very thin strings, what we call wires. These copper wires crossed the world. They went over tall, freezing mountains. They went deep under the dark, quiet oceans. They connected massive power plants right to our homes. The soft orange rock was now carrying light. It brought the magic right into our rooms. Just look around your room right now. Copper is hiding right behind your walls. It's tucked inside the cords of your lamps. When you flip a switch, a light turns on because the electricity races through a copper wire. The metal delivers the power right away. And copper also learned a brand new trick. It started carrying human voices. People used it to make the earliest telephones. You could talk into a machine, the machine turned your voice into electricity, and the copper wire carried your voice far away. Someone in another city could hear you perfectly. The shiny metal connected people. It made this massive, giant world feel much, much smaller. As years passed, our machines got smarter. We built giant computers to do math. And these machines seriously needed copper to think. Inside every computer is a tiny green board. If you look closely at that board, you'll see shiny orange lines drawn right on it. Those lines are tiny copper roads. Electricity zooms around those roads to solve puzzles.
Copper is essentially the nervous system of the machine. Your television needs it to show pictures. Your refrigerator needs it to stay cold. Almost every electric machine out there needs this special rock.
Now we have phones in our pockets. They don't have long cords attached to the wall, obviously, but they still entirely rely on copper. Inside the phone, copper moves power away from the battery. It connects the bright screen to the brain of the phone. Without it, the screen just stays completely dark. Our world is changing again right now. The air is getting dirty from old fuels. We desperately need clean energy from the sun and the wind. Windmills catch the breeze to make power, and solar panels catch the warm sunbeams, but they all need massive amounts of copper. The clean electricity must travel to our cities, and only copper can carry all that new power safely. It is the bridge to a cleaner Earth.
Cars are changing too. Old cars burn gas and make dirty smoke, while new cars run on pure electricity. An electric car is basically a giant battery on wheels. It needs a huge electric motor to spin the heavy tires, and that motor is absolutely full of twisted copper wires. An electric car uses way more copper than a gas car.
Because of all this, we have to dig up more copper every single day. Huge trucks haul it out of giant, deep holes. We are taking it from the earth very fast. But copper has this totally amazing secret. It is incredibly easy to recycle. We can use it over and over forever. You can literally melt down an old copper wire and you can turn it directly into a new computer part. The metal never loses its magic power. A piece of copper sitting inside your phone right now might actually be ancient. A Roman soldier might have worn it as a ring, and now it sends your text messages. How wild is that? We have to be careful with our shiny orange rock. We can't afford to waste it because our whole future depends on it. It's the anchor of human progress. It was our earliest step into the world of metal, and it remains our main road for power today. From simple stone tools to flying spaceships, copper has been with us for the entire ride. It really makes you stop and wonder, how did a random shiny rock we found in the dirt end up connecting our entire world? Anyway, if you had fun wandering through this wild history with me, hit that like button, share this around with your friends, and definitely subscribe so we can explore more of the world together soon. Catch you later.